Good evening, everyone. Happy Sunday. I hope everybody has had a great weekend. There are a few things we're going to discuss today. We're going to talk a little bit more about the food shortage situation, the gaping holes in the stores that are starting to show up again. Real quick, I wanted to touch a little bit on the train derailment in Maine. A lot of you guys have been asking me to talk about this. Yeah, it's a terrible situation. We have the chemicals that are going back into the waterways, or that are going into the waterways up near Maine, and we have rain that is going to be coming toward Maine, which they're urgently trying to stop within a 75-foot radius of where the chemicals have spilled so more doesn't go into the waterways. It's a crazy situation. I haven't really looked too much into it. I got my light broke here, so the light may actually kind of dim in and out. I apologize for that, but anyway, it seems like these kind of events are happening every few days. I mean, even every day. I mean, there was one that just happened in Wisconsin, and we're having them all over the place. I mean, it's getting absurd. Now, one thing I did want to talk about is how this ties in with everything going on. Okay, talking about food shortages, stuff like that, or massive price increases. We're seeing everything now. It's like the bases are loaded, and we're trying to stay afloat here. We're trying to stay in the game. And the thing is that that's exactly what it is, and that is what we do on this channel. Okay, and I know you may think, well, that sounds crazy. We do this channel to help save you guys money in the grocery stores. That is where we started, and we have kind of evolved in a way to checking out as much as we can, looking for things for people, for our subscribers, for our viewers, trying to find things at the stores that are missing. And we see a lot of different trends. Usually when we see different products, a product missing here, in the next month or so, it'll be spread out to the point to where everybody's going to be talking about the same products. But anyway, don't want to talk too much about the train derailment because I don't really know much. I do know it's a situation. There's a lot of rain coming, and it looks like they're trying to contain it within a 75-foot radius to where they can keep it from leaking into the waterways, which apparently a lot has. There were some laws broken with ecosystem and all that. It's like I don't really know what to think yet. Feel free to leave it down in the comments, your thoughts. Let us know what you think. But back to the food shortages. Yes, there are a lot of them, and most of what seem to be around the United States right now. We do have some people from Canada, with some stores in Canada. We have our viewers from Australia that have been commenting on some things, a lot of produce. We've had excessive heat in Europe, which has caused a lot of, I guess, drought for a lot of items in Europe right now. But guys, we're going to keep checking on these things as we go to the stores and checking the stores. So stay tuned. If you are new to the channel, make sure you subscribe because we do these videos every day to not only help save you money in the stores, but to cover the products that are coming in and out. And I did want to mention how this ties in with trains, trucks, automobiles. I mean, these things are all connected, from gas prices to how we transport them to how much we have to pay, how much taxes are being put into all this to help pay for other people's mistakes. It's like the train derailments and stuff. That needs to be taken care of by them. We should not have to pay for that. And it usually, I don't know. I don't have a lot of information on that. I may do a future video when we can start adding it all together. I have been very busy with trying to cover grocery prices lately because we have been seeing prices at all-time highs. I know, I feel like I say this every few months, but it really is, guys. We're seeing stores that you never expect to see these ridiculous high prices. We have gotten some comments on shortages of sugar. Now, I was warning people about this a little over a month ago, and salt. And I know salt is, you wouldn't think that we would ever have a shortage of salt. What is causing this? Well, transportation might be a cause. I don't know for sure. I'm just the messenger of trying to relay things on what I think from what I've seen in the store. So what I think is a lot of these things that are going on, derailments, trucks, stuff like that, like we said, are either, not only are they charging more these days because of diesel fuel, gas, stuff like that. Most people probably notice that gas has been steadily going up across the country. A lot of people, and thank you to all of your comments. Every comment that we get from someone that lets us know a gas price in a certain town, we know ahead of time whether we need to fill up or stock up on gas or food. That's why we do this, so that we can stay ahead of the game a little bit, so that we're not left in the dark, you know. And I know I have a lot to say here, but I don't really have it scripted, so it's just going to be kind of a little bit all over the place. But, things like dry beans, rice, things that we're always saying that if you stock up on these, you may want to get some extra because there is a major shortage now. Even, with our viewers, we've been hearing of shortages of all this going around the world, not just the country. So when it becomes around the world, we know it's a major issue, because if we're not getting it, it's one thing. Maybe it'll come in eventually. But if we're hearing it from around the world, that's a whole different story. And, we need to think about that kind of stuff. But, all the things like, I know a lot of people have been saying the macaroni and cheese. We've been seeing macaroni and cheese shortages here too. A lot of frozen products. Been getting a lot of comments on frozen vegetables. This was an issue for us. And for those of you who don't know, we are in Cincinnati, Ohio, just for point of reference. Also, today is April 30th, last day of April 2023. So, just for point of reference there. But, yeah, shortages on frozen vegetables, frozen potato products. That has been going on for the last couple years. We'll see frozen potato products go away, and it's usually store brands. We get most comments that we get on the channel here of the frozen potato problem is store brands. Like Kroger brand, Meyer brand. We've seen all these disappear. Even Great Value, we've seen them disappear. They've since come back here in Cincinnati, but we're getting comments from people in Arizona. Arizona's been pretty high in the comments lately as far as high prices and shortages. And here's something interesting, and I kind of put it together. We have a lot of viewers from Arizona, and what I am kind of putting together here, someone had mentioned this in the comments, and I started thinking about it. People are moving out of California. And because it's getting too expensive to live. I mean, some of the prices in California are ridiculous. I mean, I can't even think those high numbers. But people are moving to some of these states over, Nevada, Arizona, places where it's a lot cheaper to live. Well, I kind of did a little research the other day, and I'm noticing like Arizona prices are going up, and not just up, way up on housing, apartments, rent, cars, food, everything's skyrocketing in Arizona, and that is why, because all these people are coming in, and then you have all these people there that are taking advantage of that. And it's sad, it really is, but that would explain why we're having such an uptick in prices and different things in Arizona lately. But anyway, that is where we've gotten probably the most comments of shortages. A lot have been in Tennessee also, which is kind of surprising. You wouldn't think, because we're, 200 miles north of Tennessee. So, and you really can't go on that. I've talked about trucking different main highways like 75. We live off of Highway 75, which goes right through Tennessee. So you would think that a lot of things that are being delivered to either Publix, which I know Publix has their own trucks, most stores do, Kroger has their own, but most of these are going to be off of that line. Now, the one thing that we do notice are some of the prices. We can compare prices to a lot of different things off of 75. We noticed this when we were down in Florida. When we were in Florida and we were going to Publix and some of these other stores, they were very comparable with some of the store brand prices. Like Publix brand prices were pretty spot on for what Kroger and Meyer and some of these other prices were. Publix has since gone up since we were there in the fall, but part of my point is that this is how we're keeping track. This is how we're seeing a trend and being able to catch some of these prices as they go up relay them to you guys so that we can get them out there as fast as possible. When I do research, that's what I look for. I look at some of the major arteries that go through the United States, like Highway 40 goes from east to west coast. So if we're on that line, we know a lot of things that are going on that are basically coming from the outside in. Now, the funny thing about that, and what I mean by that is East Coast, West Coast coming in, meeting in the crossroads of America, probably in Indiana, right? But and we're not far from Indiana. We're literally 20 minutes from Indiana. So it makes it a good gauging point for me to really know where the prices are. We're following gas prices this way, food prices, a lot of different things. So what happens is when you have a serious production area, okay? Now we're in Cincinnati, Ohio. What is the biggest food plant probably in the world? Maybe just the country, but I don't know. If I had to guess, it's probably number one in the world. Right down the street from us is the Kroger plant. Cincinnati is the home of Kroger. They make all of their products here, and they have different plants scattered throughout Ohio and Kentucky. But their main plant is right down the street here. So last year, I started putting together like kind of a chart, right, where these things were really skyrocketing in price. We were seeing store brands stay pretty much the same, but we were seeing name brands really start to get expensive. Where did that start? Right here. I was trying to figure out, why is this happening in the Midwest? Usually when we see huge price increases on things, it slowly comes in, like we were talking about, from the East and West Coast, and then hits us within a couple months. Not now. Now it is hitting right from the Midwest and spreading out. This is why when we talk about things like people, I almost feel like I'm on a delay. Last year, I felt like I was on a delay. We were having all these food shortages and price increases and all this stuff. And it just, everybody east and west of us was like, what's going on? Things seem normal here. And then few weeks later, we're hearing from the same people in these states: Mississippi, Alabama, Arizona, North Carolina. We're hearing as it spreads out. We were figuring these out within a month, and we've documented all this. You can go back to our old videos, and it might be a lot of why. We do these videos every day, so you might have to watch a lot. But you can see in the comments how it was spreading out, how this was spreading basically from where we are here, the heart of America, which is Ohio. That's it's just funny because a lot of these things, like when housing started going up like crazy, right? It started here. It's like it was imploding from the Midwest here and expanding outward, right? It's like we know that housing on the East and West Coast is ridiculous. It always has been, and it's getting worse. But we noticed that it was kind of sitting there for a while, and now it's spreading out to where it's getting even worse, and we're seeing these things finally spread out to Arizona. Because the thing is I if it was me and I was moving from California, I wouldn't want to move to Ohio. I'm used to sunshine all the time. I'm used to warm weather, or so I'm going to stay in Arizona, right? You're like, well, Arizona, I can get this piece of land for dirt cheap. I can have a house built on it for what probably 1 year of payments would cost you in California. Well, that stuff is starting to catch up. It's starting to catch up, and we're seeing and hearing a lot of different housing prices going up in these parts. It's already happened here. Housing is ridiculously overpriced. It's crazy. We've never seen these kind of prices in Cincinnati before, ever. And it's the money you make and the money that these houses cost doesn't balance out right. It doesn't equal being able to afford it, for one, because our wages aren't the same as wages out on the East and West Coast, or even people who are moving to Florida and Arizona. It's like these housing has gotten so expensive that, you really have to plan for the future as far as, just putting it away, continue to put a little bit away here and there. Um, and these are things that people have been discussing. This is kind of a Sunday night news um, briefing, as you may say. I don't know. But a lot of people were talking about this in the comments. Like I said, I put a video out of a lot of different food shortages that we are seeing in Cincinnati right now. And as to where it doesn't look like a repeat of last year, where it was insane, where there were empty shelves everywhere, it does not look like that. But we are finding bare spots. We are finding spots of things that are missing, and we're going to continue to look over some of these things. I've kind of not put some of this stuff in the videos because we've been focused on prices. Remember, most of you on the channel know that when I talk about prices, I talk about being blinded by the sales, right? We're blinded by the sales as the regular prices go up, right? It's like we'll have the sale price on the sticker and then there'll be whatever deal there is off of that. But then if you notice, that's why I always say on the channel, always check the regular prices, because that is what you're going to be paying when this isn't on sale anymore. So that kind of gives you an idea, like maybe I should buy up 10 of these or something while I have the chance, because I can't afford this, or something like that. And it's something that we are going to cover here coming up in future videos. And again, it's something that I haven't been showing too much of, and maybe I should, but I try to keep our shopping videos and stuff under 30 minutes. I don't like to put a video out here that is an hour long. I know some of our videos go a little over that, but we just have to cover it as we go along. We have so many different stores that we cover because there are different stores across the country. Not everybody has Kroger. Not everybody has Meijer. Then there's a lot of these stores we don't have, which I wish we did. They're supposed to be building a Publix down in Kentucky, maybe. That would be nice. Not really to shop there, but just to have, so that I can do some price comparisons for a lot of you who do shop at Publix. And I do like some Publix. I like some of the products they have. The produce is pretty good. The bakery is phenomenal. So I mean, there are things I would definitely shop at Publix for. But guys, it's been a crazy weekend. I've probably gotten over 1,000 comments. And I know I can't respond to all of them. I really can't. But I've read through. From what I gathered, there are significant food shortages across the country and around the world right now. Some major ones being rice and beans. Here's a funny one. Okay, and just I thought it was funny because I got probably five or six comments on beer. Shortages of beer. So I don't know. I consider when it's like when I read the first one, I was like, somebody's being funny. And then I saw a second one from somewhere else, Wisconsin, which is really funny. Wisconsin low on beer? Yeah, I don't know. But we were getting more and more. And let me say this real quick. When you are talking about something that is out in a store or a major price increase or something that is that you can help, our viewers help each other in the channel. So, always pay attention to everyone commenting, because we have people commenting from all over the world that are trying to help too, that are saying, if you leave a comment, well, I couldn't find sugar at Kroger, put your city and state. Don't put your neighborhood or, what town you're in or anything like that, but at least put your city and state. You can abbreviate, but that way we know. I just saw the picture get brighter. That way we know where it's coming from. So we get an idea. So if Indiana, say Missouri and Indiana, okay, they're low on sugar. Well, the highways on there, we're going back to the highways for a second. Highway 70 and Highway 40 are the truck routes. So chances are that could be coming to Ohio. We could be having a shortage if they're not coming in on the trucks. This is how we gauged it before, and we're able to find out if this was the deal. Some cases it was, some cases it wasn't. We kind of just you kind of just have to roll the dice, but at least we're a little more prepared when we hear these things. So just when you leave a comment, if you are commenting about some of the shortages or price increases at the stores, just try, if you can, or if you remember, just leave the state you're in. You don't even have to leave the city. If you leave the city, though, it gives us an idea of what highway, because I do look at these things. I don't talk about them a lot, but because I wanted to put this out here, thank you all for responding to our videos over the last few days. We've been getting, like I said, flooded with comments on a lot of different food shortages and massive price increases, which we talk about all the time. But I tend to, like I was saying about being blinded by the sales, I've been blinded by some of the food shortages. But when it's coming in masses here, when I was at Kroger I went to two Krogers this last week, two Kroger stores. One of them was very low on stuff, a lot of different frozen items. I didn't go over it. But the other day we went to Kroger Marketplace, and it was like they're very good at putting out them inconvenience stickers. If they're not getting them in, or if it's just not there, they'll put sorry for the inconvenience everywhere. I like how they do that because I kind of gauge different things of what's going on. Like, okay, like finally we saw some inconvenience stickers on the canned mushrooms. Again, just an example. But we're seeing it pop up in other things. We're seeing it come up in a lot of pet food again, right? Baby formula, ones that we saw taken down because they were getting it back in. Now they're not. And they're still baby formula. Again, I don't ever try to encourage like panicking or anything like that, because it's not that kind of situation. But we don't want it to become that situation like it was a year and a half ago, where it was like I would go into Kroger and I would ball up my list and throw it in the trash because they didn't have anything. They didn't have anything I wanted or needed. And basically, we don't even go into the store. We have been trained to go into the store without a plan, and this is what we've talked about on the channel too, with being more creative with our meals, because we know the chance of those products not being in there. You don't want to walk all over the store trying to find these products and then get upset because they don't have them. So we basically go down each aisle, like, do we want this? Okay, pass that. So we're not wasting our breath per se. We're not wasting our legs. Because that's really what it is. It's like you go in there and it's like any amount of frustration that you're adding to your body or your mental health, is going to make it worse. Believe me, I know I do. And it may be me more than most people because I'm in the stores every day. And again, people always say like, Dan, how do you always get sticker shock? Well, it's because I'm thinking about you guys. I'm thinking we've had 100 people ask for these products and it's not coming in, or it's double the price. It's always kind of depressing, so it's like, it's not as much sticker shock as it is frustration with having to always bring bad news about this stuff. But it's about awareness. It's about being prepared, being aware of what's going on, being aware of your surroundings, knowing, and that is what we do. We try to make it easy for you so that you know where to go. And thank you to all of our subscribers who leave this information down in the comments, because without you, we would not be able to do this. We would not be able to at least know, other than our Google research, which isn't very reliable. We wouldn't be able to do this. We wouldn't be able to reach as many people, because not only reaching people on the channel as far as what we're doing, but what you're doing in the comments also by help spreading that news to other people. And we really appreciate that. Didn't want to make this video very long, but it looks like it's going to be long anyway. But guys, thank you so much for watching tonight. I hope everybody has a great week. Try not to let the situation stress you out. Let me do that for you. I try to make it as easy and as entertaining as I can. We will be going to Meijer tomorrow, but tomorrow's video is Aldi. I go to Aldi and we do a little bit of a taste testing. Pick out some different Aldi products that you guys have mentioned in the past, and I try a few of them. I'll let you know, a couple of them I liked, a few of them I did not like. So make sure you tune in tomorrow morning, Monday, May 1st, 8:30 in the morning Eastern time to check out that video. Another thing I wanted to mention is, you guys know, most of you know that I've been working with a new camera, so I have a different setup. My audio was very low when I get to the taste testing part. The whole video where we go shopping through Aldi is fine. Audio is great, but when we get to the taste testing part, it's very low because I didn't have my audio thing set up right. So it sounds good. You just have to turn it up a little bit when we get from Aldi to the taste testing part of the video. So just wanted to let you guys know that. Everybody have a great week. Thank you so much for watching. Always remember, the adventure is out there.